This is Tom Bain, and this is Wine, Money, and Song. If you find the content of this channel of interest, please subscribe. And if you have like-minded friends who are interested in wine, please tell them about it. And in comments, please let us know what subjects you would like us to cover and if there's wines you want us to react to. Episode 2 of Wines for $25 that offer great value. Well, I'm going to open up this episode with New Zealand. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not that deeply seated in the wines from New Zealand, although I did bring Brancott, which was at the time called Montana in New Zealand, and they changed the name because we have a state called Montana in America, so they changed it to Brancott. And I did very well in selling New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc when it was new in America. I made my bonuses on Brancott Sauvignon Blanc. So Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand is very, very hot in America. There's hundreds of thousands of cases sold. And there's a few big brands that sell. You have Oyster Bay, you have Villa Maria, and there's maybe 5 or 6 that people really know. And most of the wines come from Marlborough area of New Zealand. 65% of the grapes that are planted in New Zealand are Sauvignon Blanc grapes. And America imports about 85% Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand. So that shows you how heavy Sauvignon Blanc is. And you can go from $10 to $30, $40. And this is another instance. Go to your neighborhood store where they have like 7 or 8 of them and they've tasted them and they can tell you the differences. But start out at the bottom so you understand Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand. It's very light. It's very, very gooseberry flavors, grassy flavors, very light, and it's the un-Chardonnay. It tastes very different than Chardonnay, and I think that's why people go for it. And they do make some very, very good Pinot Noir too, but it's going to be more pricey and generally above $25. But that's something if you want to investigate. There's some very good Pinot Noir coming out of New Zealand too. So I'm going to get to Italy, which is my favorite region for value price wines. Obviously, I've said that I'm stewed in French wines, especially Bordeaux. And I've been involved in the commerce of Bordeaux and French wines through most of my wine career. But I find the best values today are from Italy. And I love the white wines from Italy because they have such a range of flavors. They have indigenous grapes where are only grown there. Wines like Soave, Lugana, this is a bottle of Frascati, you have Gavi Agave, you have Arness, and they're all from different areas. But as far as diversity and range of flavors, beautiful white wines coming from especially the northeast part of Italy, which is near Switzerland and Germany, cooler areas. So generally, those white wines coming from that northeast area, they're a degree and a half less alcohol than some of the other wines around the world. They're crisper, minerally, but you really got to search because they're not big brands. They're small producers, and like a wine like Soave, there's maybe, you can see 5 or 6, 7 producers on a rack or something. So you have to go by producers. But those wines will reward you by the diversity and their minerally and their refreshing qualities, and generally they have white floral components to them, but very, very refreshing wines. And the wines from Piemontese wines, white wines from Piemonte, wines like Gavi, and Arness too. Very good wines. But, very good wines, reasonably priced, and have a lot of flavor and a lot of minerality to them. So to the red wines of Italy. Now, for $25, you can buy Barbera d'Asti, Barbera d'Alba, rich wines, great with Italian food, great with pasta, really, really nice flavors, rich, mouth-watering flavors. And you have Dolcetto. Dolcetto is a favorite wine of mine. It's not a big-bodied wine. It's light, but very, very nuanced with a lot of fruit. Different styles are made. And I look for more and more Dolcetto for $20, $25. Very, very rich. And the areas where Dolcetto is grown, they can plant Nebbiolo and make Barolo from it. But they love Dolcetto so much, they plant a cash crop that's worth a lot less money than planting Nebbiolo with Dolcetto, because they like Dolcetto and there's a market for Dolcetto. And I'm a big fan of Dolcetto. And then, of course, you have Chianti from Tuscany. Chianti, I like to go with Chianti. There's straight Chianti, and then there's Chianti Classico, which is a step up. It's a designation where the wine comes from, and generally they're a little richer than regular Chiantis. Then you can get another step up from Chianti Classico to Chianti Classico Reserva, which means the wines were aged a certain amount of time in wood. But for me, I like the Classicos, and I like the Chiantis that are up in height, elevation, altitude, gives the wine a crispness and a bracing quality and a great backbone, and is open to anything from Italy, Italian cuisine. There's nothing like Chianti. Now, of course, I can't talk about Barolo, I can't talk about Barbaresco, because it's very, very pricey. But the white wine's incredible. Just go out and just try them. You're not going to be disappointed in many of the white wines. And the red wines, which I didn't talk about, wines Valpolicella, Bardolino, light-bodied wines. Suave comes from the same area near Lake Garda. Very light wines, and so you can serve them with a diverse amount of dishes. Very easy to drink, crisp, great acidity, and easy just to knock it back. Valpolicella, a go-to wine for me, and Bardolinos too, if you can find them. You can find them for $15, and they're very, very good wines, very servable wines. Okay, and we're going to go to California wines now, and you would figure I'd have a million California wines. The problem I have with California wines is they're brands, and one brand, an owner has 50 brands, 30 brands. What's the difference? So the brands that I like from California that are within $20, you can get Bedrock, which features old vines to a great degree. They have very, very old vineyards. Bedrock produces an old vine Zinfandel that you can buy between $20 and $25. That's excellent. Great barbecue wine, Bedrock old vines, and also their Syrah too is very good. They're plain Syrah for about that price. And of course, Ridge Zinfandels, you can get about 3 or 4 of them for about $25. The single vineyards like this one, but they have 3 valleys, and they make a lot of different Zinfandels, and 3 or 4 of them at around the $25 range are excellent. But there are other wineries that I like. I like Marietta Winery. They have Ovine Red, which I talked about before. Great value for $15 or less. And you have to look for those wines. And generally they're at the lower price level, because a lot of these guys make $100 bottles too. So you got to really search out for these wines. And as far as Pinot Noir goes in California, you have to look to Russian River Valley, Pinot Noir. You have to look at Sonoma Coast, especially Anderson Valley, very, very cooler growing areas. And look, Jackson Estates, I must say, they're a huge concern. They make a ton of wine, but I think that Pinot Noirs are pretty good. Yeah, pretty representative. I like their La Crema. I like their Cambria. Very, very good wines. And you can find those in supermarkets. Those are well priced and they're well done. They're very representative, and I think I've given you a lot to think about with that. So run out there, go to your neighborhood store, tap the brain of those people working there. They're trying the wines. They're there to service you. So please go out there and find those wines.